Earlier this week, George Takei posted this picture on his Facebook wall. While this may be an old image, it had a profound impact on my life, especially in the way I view myself as a person. Some of you may be thinking, what the fuck, Ingvi? What has this got to do with video games? To you I say, it has nothing to do with video games, but everything to do with us as gamers. You see, as the social rejects of the 70s and 80s were categorized as Star Wars nerds, Star Trek geeks, math dorks, or what have you, the 80s and 90s saw us gamers locked into those categories as well. At primary school in the early 90s, if I found someone to talk to about video games at all, other kids would view us as video game nerds. And it's only in the past couple of years that being a nerd is not considered a bad thing. It's actually only in this millennium that playing video games on a regular basis is considered socially acceptable behavior. I remember when my father used to tell me that I shouldn't play so many video games as I'd never make my living from them. I wonder if anyone else has ever heard that statement. But the reason this particular image struck a chord with me, especially coming from an openly gay man who has had to struggle with his sense of identity and take very difficult steps on the road to self-discovery, steps that I applaud him for overcoming, is that I never knew what to call myself. Was I a geek? Was I a nerd? Or perhaps a dork? Or was I too mainstream to be locked into any one of those categories? Was I perhaps, and I really do dread the prospect, a jock? Before going any further, let's analyze this image and get to the bottom of what it means to belong to each of the three categories. Let's start from the bottom, with a dork. A dork, as it says on the image, is someone who is confused by really cool stuff. That is not to say that they aren't intelligent. Far from it, they're usually hyper-intelligent. It's just that their intelligence renders them incapable of enjoying the sheer coolness of cool stuff. They are the people watching Star Trek with calculators in their hands and their glasses balanced at the tip of their noses, going, "This show sucks. The math clearly doesn't add up." In the video gaming world, I'd say John Riccitiello was a dork. He buys up cool franchises and then kills their coolness factor by changing them to fit the results of his marketing analysis. He clearly does not understand what it is to be cool. What a fucking dork. A nerd, the image says, is someone who understands and collects really cool stuff. This is the category I have most often been identified as by others. Nerds are really hardcore fans who spend every cent they earn not only on the product of fascination, be it Call of Duty or Star Wars or Skyrim, but on every single piece of worthless plastic junk they can find with their beloved franchise's logo printed on it. They don't only enjoy their games, they merge them into the very fabric of their character, at least until the next big thing hits the shelves. You know this guy? You should. He's the Angry Video Game Nerd, and if you haven't checked out his videos on YouTube, head on over there, they're quite funny. Although he dresses like a complete dork, he is in fact a nerd. His collection of old video games is quite impressive, and I bet if you looked in his mom's garage, you would find a equally impressive collection of video game memorabilia. And finally, the geek. A geek is someone who understands, creates, and fixes really cool stuff. And this is where the best video game designers and producers hang out. They understand what makes a game cool. They create awesome experiences and features for us as gamers to enjoy, and they take basic alpha codes of works in progress and figure out how to make them better games. Hideo Kojima is definitely a geek. He knows what makes a game cool, what makes a fictional world fascinating and exciting, and where his talents really lie is his ability to mold these ideas of pure awesomeness into fantastic gaming experiences. Shorter cinematics next time though. One of the gaming industry's biggest problems is that the hierarchy is completely wrong within it. We have nerds designing and producing games, geeks programming them, and dorks handling the business side. Geeks are the best creators and fixers among the three, and should be in positions that directly affect the feel of the game, not simply hammering out code. Nerds who merge the game directly into the fiber of their being should be the ones in control of the business side, as they are the best people to infect others with their enthusiasm for the product. That, and they would care more about the quality of the game than pleasing the investors, ultimately resulting in better games that sell more making the investors happy even if they didn't gain complete control. Dorks have absolutely no place in a position of any influence. They are completely void of any artistic sense and are generally mindless number crunchers. They would be perfect for coding, but useless for any creative position, let alone business and marketing. I have been strolling through life calling myself a nerd because that's what the kids back home called me. Deep within myself, I never connected with that phrase. I told other people I was a video game nerd, but I never felt right in doing so. I felt conflicted, stuck with a nerd's reputation, but a character that didn't really know what to call itself. Thanks to George TK and his Facebook wall post, I have finally found myself. Thank you, Mr. TK, for unlocking the closet door for me. I am a video game geek.